So you're a creator, you've been posting, you've been grinding, you've been creating nonstop, but somehow the money isn't matching the effort. Now, even if you're not a creator, you're a small business owner who's been doing everything over and beyond your capabilities, but the money is not matching the effort. Maybe the problem isn't your hustle, maybe it's your mindset. So, I am going to be doing a series of videos on rich creator habits. And the first one we're going to be talking about is mindset to wealth. Sometimes the problem isn't how hard we work, it's just the mindset we use in approaching our work and the things we do. So, in this episode of Rich Creator Habits, we're talking about mindset to wealth because wealthy creators don't just make content, or small business owners, wealthy business owners don't just do the work, they build systems, they own their value, they think differently. And so today we're going to talk about five mindset shifts that changed everything for me and changed everything for business owners and creators I know. I really love this quote when it comes to a wealth mindset. The first step to creating wealth is a change or shift in mindset. I've referenced this in a couple of my previous videos. It doesn't start with the work. It doesn't start creating wealth. It doesn't start when the first amount of money hits your bank account. It starts in your mind, starts with your thought process, and then it goes on from there. So the first mind shift we're going to talk about is shifting from effort to leverage. Effort says work harder. And don't get me wrong, hard work is essential. But the thought process seems to be if I just work harder, I will make more money. But sometimes working harder is just being busy. It doesn't help you to make money. What you need to do is shift your mind from working harder to working smarter. Of course, you want to put in hard work, but you also want to make sure the work you are putting in is being smart. You want to move from just putting in effort and leveraging what you already have. So that might look like changing your approach. Let's say you're a content creator. Instead of posting 100 videos, you can post one video that sells a product 100 times. You can automate things in your business. If you're a business owner, onboarding your client, instead of spending 40, 50, 60 hours onboarding a new client into your system, you can automate certain things so that you are saving time. Things are clicking more effortlessly and effectively, and you are spending that time you've saved on other parts of your business. So you want to look into things that will help you automate certain things. You want to, whatever you have, leverage that into creating and getting more from you instead of just pouring time in creating more and more. So for this week or the next couple of weeks, I want you to think about your operations and build one repeatable system. It could be a template for your marketing. It could be a template for your calendar or for your project. It could be a sales funnel so that your effort or the effort you've put into your work will continue even after you've stopped working. So that is one mind shift, effort to leverage, going from working harder to working smarter. The second one is going from thinking about just making income and thinking about ownership. Income is the money is coming in. Ownership is wealth, and there is a difference between just having cash and being wealthy. Cash is something you can burn through in one day. Cash is finite. Wealth is a little bit more long lasting. Like if you leave something for your descendants, that's wealth. Cash is not going to extend that long. Like when you look at billionaires and millionaires and those who have made a lot of money, it's not just the money they have, it's the wealth they've left for their children. So their children can burn through the money, but the businesses they've set up, the systems within those businesses that replicate their efforts so that their descendants can benefit from it, and that is wealth. Because let's be honest, anybody can burn through a lot of money in a finite period of time. But when you have a system or a business or something in place that continues to generate that cash, now that is wealth. You want to shift from an income mindset to an ownership mindset. Wealthy creators own digital products, licenses, email lists, equity in their operations. They don't just get they don't just get paid once, they build assets that pay them forever and ever, things that can replicate and continue to generate income. I read a quote somewhere that says income without ownership is a treadmill. You just keep running and running. It's like working for someone. At some point they're going to kick you out of there, but if you have your own business, the success and failure of it is all yours. You can direct and shift things as you need to, but when you are working for someone, there is nothing much you can do other than what you have been asked to do. So the question is, what are you building that lives beyond your hours? Start documenting what you do and turn it into something you can sell, something you can license, something you can automate, something that will continue to work and generate income even when you are no longer there. Mind shift three is going from more to better, going from, oh, I need to do more to I need to do better. Burnout often starts with the belief, I just need to do more. If I keep pushing myself and doing more, maybe I will get there. But it's not just the quantity of the work, the quality is very important. Wealthy creators don't just focus on doing more, they focus on doing better. So, for example, instead of launching 10 new offers, they take one offer and scale it and make it a great one. So it's not always the quantity, it's the quality as well. Instead of just posting daily, I've seen that advice a lot. Oh, you need to post every day. You can post a lot of things every day, but how about posting something once a week or twice a month that converts into other things? So it's important to improve something you already have, a product, a video, a process, refine it. I can say some of the videos I have posted, regardless of the amount of views, the few views I have gotten have led to a couple of clients in my accounting business or people subscribing to my email list because of a checklist. So something that you can refine that will give you more than just the immediate term of views. Views are important. I am going to tell you at the end of every video to like, share, subscribe, just so that the views are up and it goes through the algorithm. Views are important, but outside of the video you've posted or the content you've posted, what does it do for you? If you're a business owner, outside of the products you keep creating, let's say you're a retail store, you keep selling more and more products. How about selling a few products that do just really well, or creating a sales funnel that continues to replicate itself? So it's important to shift from I need to do more to just doing better. You don't want to burn out, because when you are burnt out, you lose motivation and everything simply comes to a halt. Moving on to mind shift 4. We'll need to move from fearing money to tracking money. And what I mean by that is money makes you anxious. Anxious when you're not alone. You're always thinking about it. Do I have enough to do this? Do I have enough to do that? You worry about it. Do I have enough funds to cover what needs to happen in my business? But just thinking about it and being afraid of it and being anxious just messes with your mind, destabilizes you, and takes up a lot of room. What you need is data. You need to track your money. Wealthy creators and wealthy business owners don't fear money, they track it. Because numbers are cold, hard facts, they do not lie. So they take a look to see what's coming in, what's going out. That gives you an idea, information, knowledge of what is going on with money. You cannot continue to run an operation or a business without knowing where money is coming from and where money is going, the ins and outs of every penny. There are a lot of business owners and creators today who cannot tell you at the end of any given month the biggest area they've spent money. Even in your personal finances, there are a lot of people who don't know what their biggest expense is. Some would think it's mortgage. I have had clients where you would assume their mortgage is their business expense in any given month. But then when you dive into the numbers and break it down, they spend more money on eating out than they do paying their mortgage and utilities in a month. You need to track money. You need to know where it goes because numbers will tell you the truth. Where can you cut? Where can you increase? For example, you're trying to figure out, oh, I want to advertise my business, but you're spending a ton of money on office supplies. Well, funds need to shift. Or I don't have enough to do this. Okay, let's find grants in other places. But you need information instead of just worrying about it. So again, this week, just track money. This month, track your money, track income, track expenses. And it's more than just finances. Track your views, track your sales. Data turns that anxiety and fear into decisions so that you're not just stuck standing still and being anxious, but you now have information to make decisions going forward. Mindset shift five is moving from thinking about the short term to the long term, going from now and playing the long game. You don't want to chase quick wins. A lot of wealthy people I have worked with as clients who are business owners, who are creators that I have talked to, what has impressed me the most is they just don't think about today or tomorrow or the rest of this year or even next year. Sometimes they have they all of them have long-term visions, 5 to 7 years, 10 years from now. Where do I want things to be? What do I want to achieve? They're not building to chase quick wins, they are building empires. That mindset keeps them calm during the bad months. So it's rough this month, but I know in 7 years, this is where I want to be. So this bad month, what do I need to do now to get me to where I want to go to or where I want to be in 7 years? They are focused on their net worth, on their empire, not just this week's payout or the money they're going to get this week. So something I've learned is to start. I call it a money date. I've heard people refer to it as a wealth block, a segment of time each week when you are reviewing your finances and your budgets and your business plan or you are learning. I call it a money date. For me, it's on the weekends, very early in the morning before anybody wakes up. I'm crunching the numbers and looking at my budgets and paying bills and making plans and reviewing plans and tracking things. And for some others, it's later. Whatever that time looks like for you, schedule 30 minutes every week at minimum, a minimum of 30 minutes that's just dedicated to reviewing your plan and reviewing your finances, reviewing your budgets, reviewing your goals and where you are, and even learning, taking classes and courses and reading articles and being on forums and seeing what you can glean and what you can learn to grow. That's how we build wealth fearlessly. That's how we build future freedom. So, those are the five mindset shifts. Let's take all of that on board. Let's rewire for abundance. And so I will end with a question. Which of these five mindset shifts hit you the hardest? Which ones are you already taking on board? Which ones are you more curious about? I'm curious to know. So drop down in the comment section and let me know. As always, this is the Best Wealth Lab where we talk about reward finances and encourage building wealth fearlessly. If you learned something, please like the video. If you know someone who will benefit from it, please share it with them. And if you haven't, subscribe so that when there are new videos, you get alerted quickly. Catch you in the next video.